Hey, Roger Martin here from Billings, Montana. Boom, let's do this. This is from X22 report. And this is very important because this impeachment stuff is going to continue all through his second term. Um, this is just pathetic. These guys are sore losers. They could be using their time much more productively. I believe this is going to, the more I look at it, I think it's going to destroy the Democratic Party as we know it. And you'll see this after the elections and beyond. Um, but I think the Democratic Party is pretty much done for as a constructive, useful party for the people unless they change their ways.
Liberated. And we all know that the deep state, they're not going to stop fighting back. A lot of people think, whoa, Trump is acquitted. That's the end of it. No, they're going to continue. Actually, Paul Sperry tweeted this out, breaking. House Speaker Pelosi in morning press conference said Democrats will investigate other cases against the president that we see an opportunity for impeachment, which means they're going to try again. Now, Q has already warned us of this. Let's go back to post 3774. Let me read a couple lines down here. Will new articles of impeachment be continually drafted in an effort to hold as ammunition to prevent Senate hearings? Yes, because they're trying to keep it in the public mind that Trump did something guilty. And by continually doing this, they freeze what the Senate is trying to do. Now, is this going to work? No, because individuals are going to be working behind the scenes. We still have all the investigations. Let's move on to post 3806. In this post, this is January 30th, 2020. It says,
We need to understand that they're trying to manipulate and control the Senate. They're trying to manipulate and control the Congress. They're way out of their jurisdiction in my mind, and this is nothing but a soft coup. And I think these leaders need to be prosecuted legally. I don't think it's going to happen, but it should happen to affect voting. It will happen that they lose people from the Senate and the House, no doubt. Unfortunately, uh, these people are very determined and in some ways very ignorant, considering they're supposed to be working as representatives of the country, and they are not. This is fully exposing their abusive power, abuses of power, and it's unfortunate.
and this is in brackets in bold, attempts to send new articles to Senate to delay. That is the only plan they have right now, excluding assassination. Anything else, they don't have anything. I mean, they might come up with something, but this is the thing that they have to try to stop from what is coming. Now, since Nancy Pelosi ripped up the State of the Union speech, it looks like she might be in a little bit of trouble. Now, if they're investigating her in the rules that she broke, and also there's ethics complaints against her, this might tie her up from moving forward with additional articles of impeachment. Now, Representative Matt Gaetz said he will be working to get an investigation going into House Speaker Pelosi because she tore up a copy of Trump's State of the Union address. I'll be filing charges against Nancy Pelosi in the House Ethics Committee. She disgraced the House of Representatives. She embarrassed our country. She destroyed official records. Representative Lee Zeldin said, the law does not allow the Speaker of the House to destroy the records of the House, and the rules of the House do not permit some little temper tantrum just because you don't like what the President of the United States says.
Okay, let's move forward here.
Visible to match. Now, in this tweet, Trump says if the FBI or Department of Justice was infiltrating a campaign for the benefit of another campaign, that is a really big deal. Only the release or review of documents that the House Intelligence Committee, also Senate Judiciary, is asking for can give the conclusive answers. Drain the swamp. They thought it was coming yesterday. They were wrong. Follow the pen. And here's a picture of Bolton holding an umbrella that says follow the pen. Let me continue. Blue Sky tweeted out the next tweet. Bolton's book, The Room Where It Happened. Look deeper. George Washington's childhood friend was Spy Master Agent 711. His alias name was John Bolton. He was military intelligence appointed to put a secret spy ring together dubbed the Culper Ring. Now, Bolton's book, The Room Where It Happened, is the name of a song in a musical called Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton was a Rothschild agent who helped create the First National Bank equals Fed. Why did Bolton title his book after a song in Hamilton? Here's where things get really interesting. Bolton's book named Room Where It Happened after Hamilton anthem of corruption. The words to The Room Where It Happened include a quid pro quo. You can't make this stuff up. Coincidence? I don't think so. Which leads me to the Obama White House. Hamilton's cast performs Hamilton at the Obama White House. Who's in the front row? It looks like Biden, Obama. So many coincidences. Obama gave the order. The room where it happens, present tense in Hamilton musical, refers to the White House. Bolton's book is past tense, the room where it happened. Obama gave the order to weaponize the intelligence agencies to spy on Trump Flynn. Details matter.
Wow.
So
Obama's getting deep into this, and I hope the investigation show that he gave the orders and this was illegal. And this is probably part of the stuff that was done through Hillary as well. Who knows all the details, but the fact is it's illegal, and they should be held accountable for their illegal acts and orders.
It seems that Q is telling us to follow the pen, follow Bolton, and I believe Bolton was set up as a trap for the deep state and the D's. And they're taking it hook, line, and sinker.
This is interesting, a trap for the Dems and the deep state. Was Bolton really set up to do that? Interesting.
Just like all the others, where they testified, where they were going to bring in Mueller, they're going to bring in Cohen, they're going to bring in all these people, it never worked out. And I believe when Bolton testifies, if they get him to testify, I believe they issued a subpoena, I believe it's going to completely backfire on all of them. And if they don't get anything from Bolton, what happens to the articles of impeachment? It completely falls apart. Now, what else are they waiting for?
I don't know, but this is getting mighty, mighty interesting.
Because we know the Supreme Court is hearing the cases with Don McGahn, Trump's tax returns, and the grand jury information. I do believe the Supreme Court is going to rule against all of these, and they will end up with absolutely nothing. Now, very interestingly, we know that the entire Mueller investigation was completely fake. Mueller didn't indict anyone for Russian.
Let's go on. Mueller bores me to tears.
Sexual abuse. This is Stephen Salamak. Now, he was arrested at his home by special agents of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which is ICE, Homeland Security Investigations, and he's charged by complaint with one count of receiving child pornography. Now, the documents that were filed in this case have something very interesting in them. In Section 10 of the document, it says the following. Let me read the whole thing so you understand. During and after the search of the residence, and after being advised of his Miranda rights, Defendant Salamak admitted to law enforcement officers, among other things, in substance and in part that, 1, he placed the Craigslist advertisement referenced in paragraph 2 above that cheese pizza was a reference to child pornography. Now that is very interesting. Cheese pizza. Where did we hear about pizza before? And I
Pizzagate. Boom.
do believe this information is going to hit pretty darn soon. We also see a Chinese national who was sentenced to 40 months in prison for conspiring to illegally export military and space-grade technology from the United States to China. And remember, this individual was arrested on October 16, 2019, and this individual now is sentenced to 40 months in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. Now, the Chinese national who was arrested last year for illegally exporting the secret technology to China was doing it through Bohai, a private equity firm part owned by Hunter Biden.
Wow.
Think about this for a sec. Think about what has been going on here with Hunter Biden, with China, with Ukraine, and the rest of the countries. Hunter Biden is now the hunted. The Justice Department also put out a tweet today. China is implicated in about 80% of all economic espionage charges brought by the Department of Justice, and there is some connection to China in about 60% of all federal criminal trade secret theft cases. Now that is really interesting. Remember, Q has told us that don't look at Russia, look at China. That's where everything is happening. Now, what's very interesting about China, the central bank, the globalists, were setting up China to be the next hub of the economic system. All the secrets were being sold to China. They were building the infrastructure, the investments, and the trade system, and the gold exchange. Everything was being built to duplicate what we had here in the United States. And if you notice, China has been the problem. Now, do I mean the people? No. Do I mean the entire government? No. There are individuals in the government that want to do the right thing. There's also the deep state players, the central banks, that are in there pushing their agenda, just like here in the United States, just like every other country. Now, very interestingly, we know the coronavirus is happening in China. This is what they've been building up. And the doctor, Li Wenliang, who allegedly was warning everyone else about the coronavirus, then he was detained. Before he caught the sickness, he has died. Now, this is very interesting because was he trying to tell people something completely different? Remember, he claimed that he shared his concerns about the virus in private chat with other medical students before he was detained by authorities. Now, was he saying that this was a setup? Was he saying something else happened? And did he really pass away from the virus? Or was this a hit job? We don't know. Let's get into some of Q's posts here. This is post 3833, and this is February 5th, 2020. Q.
Now, the thing about these hit jobs is you never know. They say they pass away. China's notorious for doing knockoff jobs in the hospitals, getting organs from people. I wouldn't want to get sick and be important in China and be on the wrong side of the operating table, let me tell you. They have surgeons that have no qualms with cutting your organs out, whether you're under anesthesia or not. Think about that.
Q gives us a YouTube link, and this is Revival. This is epic background music, and it has a hand with a rope around it, and under this it says Revival Q, and we can see that we are ready to move forward. Trump has been acquitted. The gloves are off. He's coming out swinging. Let's move on to post 3834. Now, Q gives us a link to grassley.senate.gov, and this is an electronic transmission to Mr. James M. Murray. And what Grassley is asking for, and it's not just Grassley, it's also Ron Johnson. This is what they're asking for. They want the committees to better understand Hunter Biden's travel arrangements to conduct business related to his dealings in Ukraine and China, among other countries, while he received a protective detail. Please provide the following information no later than February 19th, 2020. Please describe the protective detail that Hunter Biden received while his father was vice president. Please provide a list of all dates and locations of travel, international and domestic, for Hunter Biden while he received a protective detail. In your response, please note whether his travel was on Air Force One or Two or other government aircraft as applicable, and whether additional family members were present for each trip. Now, very interestingly, we've come to find out that the Treasury Department, they have sent information on Hunter Biden to the Senate. And they compiled all the information, all the documentation, all the requests for highly sensitive and closely held financial records about Hunter Biden and his associates has now been turned over to the Senate.
Wow, the Treasury Department. So his funds and his monies and those records now over to the Senate. I would not want to be in this guy's shoes.
And now the Senate has the information, and they're waiting for additional information. It looks like the investigation into Hunter Biden has officially begun. And now we have Lindsey Graham, who'll be calling many different witnesses. Remember, the Senate now is free to do investigations, to do hearings. And who controls the Senate? The Patriots. This is now out of the House's hands. The Senate was the key for more than one thing. Now, Trump was having a press conference, and he thanked many people in Congress who helped him out. But that's not all he did. He called out certain individuals, like Comey. He called him a sleazebag. And he said he might not be president today had he not fired Comey. He did a dramatic reading of the struck page texts. He said people tried to overthrow the government, which is pretty much the dictionary definition of sedition. He was educating the people, reminding everyone who is watching that these people tried to remove a duly elected president with no evidence whatsoever. Remember, he released his phone transcript. He made it completely transparent. There was nothing there. And he took this time to educate the people. And I want to go back to post 3599. It says, the harvest crop has been prepared and soon will be delivered to the public for consumption. A higher loyalty. Why? Comey. Hunters become the hunted. Treason. Sedition. How do you remove a liability? 6 o'clock can be dangerous. Family proud. Now, the mainstream media, they're out there and they're listening to what he's saying, and they're trying to say, oh, Trump is struggling. He's dark. No, what is happening here is that the gloves are off. We're in the 15th round. It's Trump's turn. He's going to come out punching, and it's not going to be a soft punch. He's going to punch hard. He's already started.
And knockout. Boom. Boom, it's coming. Boom. Boom. Trump is going to come and pound some people. Hallelujah. And all the white hats, all the judiciary, all the treasury, all the records that he needs, military and otherwise, they're going to start coming out. Subpoenas are going to start flying. And boom. These people are going to go to court. And they're going to be sentenced, some of them. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's going to be exciting times this second term.
We're watching a show. The Patriots, they understand what is happening. They're using game theory. They're directing what they want the deep state players to do with real information, disinformation, They're directing them. Yes, the deep state and others are looking at the Q boards. It's not just for anons. And they're using these boards to direct these individuals to exactly what they want them to do. And they have been doing it. And they trap them every single time. And now it's the Patriots' turn.
This is a form of psychological warfare. They already got screwed up minds. They're just using this psychology against them, and they can't help themselves. They're already screwed. They just don't know it. It's great.
We know what's coming. The investigations are wrapping up. They have all the information. The D-class is coming. We already have everything in place. The clock is ticking down. Yes, the deep state's going to try to fight back, but if you notice, every time they try to fight back, it gets weaker and weaker and weaker each.
We're going to end it here. I firmly believe that this second year, they're going to be the D-class, subpoenas, trials, and some sentencing and jailing is going to happen like we've never seen before. Will it clean up all the deep state? No way. It is too massive, it is too wide, it is too deep, it's not going away. There are too many corrupt politicians involved in it, but it's going to take a big bite into it and a big bite into people's lives that don't want to have these things revealed. The only thing I really fear is that Trump will be assassinated in his second term. I pray to God that won't happen, but I think the likelihood is very high. Again, this is Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. Good day.